And here we are again. Well, gee, that is a morality singing here.
Definitely
that's the devil tempting him there.
Yeah, that's his cousin.
Okay, so let's talk about this movie. This you call part of a trilogy, and that's why you called it number one.
Yes.
And there will be a number two and a number.
Yes, actually, I started with the number one, number two, number three, and then titles kind of popped up. So now they've actually number two and number three have titles.
Number two is My Grief Is My Own.
My Grief Is My Own.
Number three is Self-Propelled.
Yep.
And number one really feels out in the cold right now.
Well, yeah, for me, to be honest, I didn't even want to give it a title. I've never really thought of a title on this one. I thought this is the first film from A&I Pictures, and it seemed to make sense.
And this is the first movie. I mean, you've done practice little pieces before, but this is your first real movie.
Yes, it's my first
and it's
film.
a short. It's 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Number two will be 35.
Yes.
Number three will be
about 35.
40.
35 to 40. Right now, the screenplay's finished. I'm on the 10th draft on that one, so and working my way through that one. So.
And if one looks at your website, ANI.com, you get this little blurb about what they're about.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to me they're all about Latino issues.
Well, actually, I noticed actually the first one is actually an African American story. Actually, I know that Anthony looks Hispanic, but he's actually African American. The second one is Latino, and the third one is just not necessarily any particular race.
It brings up such weird, philosophies. He's got you're right, he doesn't have a Latino name.
Mm-hmm.
But it brings me back to when Halle Berry won the Academy Award crying, "It is so wonderful that you had a black woman win for Best Actress."
Mm-hmm.
And then they'd go over to her mother and she's a white woman. And I'm going, how can your mother feel you completely negating her part in your creation?
No, that's true.
And then I'm thinking back, maybe because the world was so prejudiced against blacks that if you were even 1/4 black, you were considered black instead of 3/4 white.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, let's get over that. Halle Berry, your mother is white, you are half white, and you are beautiful, and be happy. You only got half an Academy Award for being a black woman. So, I mean, if he looks Latino, and he doesn't look black, why should it be called black?
Well, I wanted, looking at the story, I wanted to focus on the predominant characters. I wanted this to be an African-American story. I mean, he is light-skinned, but I wanted to kind of deal with different parts of the city. What the trilogy is I wanted to focus on different neighborhoods. And initially, the first one was going to be in the Western Addition. It actually takes place, in fact, it was mostly shot in the Western Addition.
And I didn't even know that.
Yeah, see, and once again, that was one that in the screenplay, the Western Addition kind of was in the front, and then as I worked on it, it was so hard to kind of deal with the neighborhood that I finally just said. Well,
not only that, he travels around for his work.
Exactly. But he lives, and most of his life is in the Western Addition.
It's a very nice apartment, by the way.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
okay, so what makes this a trilogy? 2 and 3, how do they relate to 1, and how are they bound together?
The trilogy for me, first of all, is I wanted to kind of deal with 3 different neighborhoods in this case, but I didn't want to kind of push it in your face. I know that's been done before, and for me, I just wanted it to kind of take place in these communities without highlighting it with a flashing neon sign.
Right.
So the first one is Western Addition. The second one is in the Mission, and it focuses on the Latino culture. And actually, the third one, which deals more with class, I think, than anything else, and that deals with that's mostly in kind of the Laurel Heights and downtown areas.
Okay.
So they kind of focus on 3, and I want to kind of put them together into one piece. And they all have different themes, but I felt like they were all character pieces that came from the same place from me.
So eventually, when all 3 are done, they will be put together to show at one time.
Exactly. That's the idea.
Very nice. So you have finished number 1. Number 2, you have finished shooting, and you are in...
No, I'm just going into shooting. I'm going to starting shooting in May.
Have you finished casting yet?
Casting is about 80% done.
Okay.
There's some really... I'm really looking forward to working with these people. Especially the lead for me, Mila Reyes, who's going to star in My Grief Is My Own. She's... In looking at her work so far, she's an accomplished theater actor, actually, in the area. And I'm really looking forward to working with her in this one.
Right.
And this is a far more difficult story, I think, than the first one around. So it's proving to be about 3 times more difficult than the first one.
And the last one,
Self-propelled.
That is at the stage where you're just about finished with the screenplay.
Yeah, I finished the screenplay like maybe 2-3 weeks ago when I was laid up actually after a bicycle accident.
Right.
And
did a door get you?
The door got me.
The door got you.
The door got me, and actually 20 minutes. I keep on telling people this. 20 minutes after I wrote a bicycle crash scene, I actually crashed my bicycle. So
maybe it was your fault.
Exactly. So yeah, but that one is on the 10th draft right now.
We're going to take a break now,
Okay.
And not for a commercial, but part of the San Francisco International Film Festival, they always have a section for British TV because, it is so wonderful. Now, if you loved Fahrenheit 9/11, how it revealed so much rotten in the state of Denmark, if I may say, this is called The Power of Nightmares. And it was a 3-part, so it's 3 hours, 3-part BBC documentary talking about how the United States government and the Taliban both have very much in common because they control you by making you be afraid of something that doesn't even exist.
Exactly.
You knew that already.
No, I knew that already.
I didn't know that. So right now, let's take some 2 minutes and 19 seconds from The Power of Nightmares, which will be in the San Francisco International Film Festival. Okay.